Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Tuesday, June 22nd, and I am live. Welcome, welcome, welcome to my live Facebook broadcast, which is every night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, which also goes to video after the fact. So if you miss it in Facebook or you miss me live, you can go ahead and see the video. And also, welcome to my YouTube viewers. Love you guys. This always goes up as video after the fact, so you can watch it as well. So welcome. So good to see everybody. Hi, Rhonda. Rhonda Bobanda. Oh my. All right. So no contest going on at the moment. Nothing really to announce this time. So we can get right into coloring. So let's get coloring. Alrighty. This is 101 Animals to Color by Celea Works. Nice little book. Got a bunch of things on it. Rhonda, how's it going today? Tell me something good that happened to you today. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Zoom in. Zoom out. Oh, and forgive me, I've got to use a tissue. I'm so sorry. Excuse me. Okay. Now that the sneezing is done, Rhonda says she feels energetic, and she said, God bless me. Thank you. God does bless me. All right. So last night I was showing you how to scratch in some patterns on this rose. Zoom in. And now I'm going to go ahead and play around with the leaves. And while I'm thinking about that, I'm going to go ahead and Pearl got the word that hubby is being released on Friday. Oh, from West Campus Rehab Center. Oh, God is so good. Rhonda worked on her tropical bird. Oh, Pearl, that is absolutely outstanding. Thank you, God. I'm sure Jerry is excited, Pearl. What did Jerry say? And by the way, Pearl, have you been telling Jerry that we've been asking about him? Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm going ahead and scratching in my marks on my leaves. And that way we've got that consistency going. Alrighty. Now, when I go in and scratch, can't wait. He is sure he will be able to go, as he had been not thinking he can't push or pull or lift. All right. Zoom in. All right, now see how these scratch marks, guys, are showing up darker? You've got to use marker to get this best result. Remember, he's a man, okay? And you have been telling him that we've been asking. Yep, yep. I sure have told him of all the prayers and love. Okay, good. Hello, Mary. All right, now notice how I'm going over this area with repeated strokes on my marker and how that gets darker. Oh, that looks so cool. All right, let me roll you around. Rolling, 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 rawhide. Look how neat those marks look, guys. Does that not look a lot better than just plain lines? Look how cool that looks. Zoom out. Rhonda, it doesn't work as well. But having said that, you've got to try it. Okay, notice how I'm darkening in the green to make that leaf look really cool. Zoom out. All I can say, Rhonda, is try it. Different papers are different thicknesses. Give it a go. Yep, it depends on the thickness of the paper, exactly. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay, what's going on with that? Zoom out. Oh man, I don't know why that's wiggling like, or flashing like that. Okay, let me try something here. There we go. All right, guys, look how beautifully now these leaves are coming up. And here we go. I'm going to darken it. Zoom out. Zoom out. Look how cool that looks, guys. Isn't that beautiful? All right. Now, I'm going to go back in here. Zoom in. Zoom in. I'm going to add some red tinting on this rose. And I want you to notice now how the depth of this rose is looking really cool. You've got the marks on it. You've got the yellow. You've got the pink. And now we're going to go ahead and get some red in on there. Now, I'll point this out again. You don't have to necessarily use the exact same colors that I'm using, right? What I want you to see and learn is that I am using different colors to give you lots of variety and depth and visual enjoyment. Now, when I say lots of color, I really should say multiple color. Zoom out. Zoom out. There you go. Hi, Helen. Okay, so we've got 3 of the leaves worked out on this one. We're getting pretty close to finishing this little puppy. No pun intended. Okay. Zoom in. Zoom in. Now, on this rose, I'm going to do a little bit differently with the etching. And what I am doing here is I'm etching around the tips. Everybody see that? Hi, Amy. Okay, everybody see how I'm doing that? So I'm putting the etch marks up near the top. You know I'm going somewhere with this. Hold on, give me a second. No, not so much an extra petal, Helen. It's just what I'm adding to the design. So here I'm going ahead and putting my pink on here. Everybody see how that is picking up now? That darkness, because the marker is going in on it. Hey, Kathy. Oops, forgot to etch a line here. Hold on. Zoom out. Kathy is here. Okay, now using that same marker, I'm going ahead and darkening the top. Now, you don't have to, right? Rita from Santa Fe, New Mexico. And look at this, guys. Isn't that beautiful? Yay, I'm here. Why, right, Rita? Was there a question about you being here? Something come up? Zoom out. Everybody see that design now that we have on that rose? And that was a simple addition of these scratch lines. And actually, well, it may be a rose, but it's something that's spreading out. Okay, and then I'm going to take, life's been interesting. Okay, Rita, what happened? Zoom in. Zoom in. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little goldish brown in here. And then a little bit of green just to touch it up. So everybody see that really nice wiggle that we've got on here? Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay. And again, I want you guys to see how all of this is coming together. All right. Flower in the lower right hand corner. Zoom in. Zoom in. And on this one now, I'm going to, now you got to be careful about repeating stuff. Sometimes it's called for balance. Sometimes repeating stuff can be an overkill. So in this case, I won't etch. I'm just going to go into a very nice red. And in this case, I don't mind going over the lines at all. Roses don't really have black lines, right? Okay, zoom out. Now I'm going to take a pinkish pencil and I'm going to go over the top for two reasons, because I'm going to, number one, I'm tinting it in pink. And number two, I'm using this to get rid of all my little popcorn, you know, those white areas that come up. And then I'm going to look for a very dark red. After I get some water. Rita, what happened that you said life's been interesting? Are you telling me or what? Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay. And now I'm going to add darker red, and I'm going to shadow that in. Everybody see that? Okay, Rita. Now, notice how I'm bringing out that red just to bring out multiple color. And when you do this, what do I always say? Blend it out, right? Questions? Comments? Meaning like, don't like, what? Look how beautiful that looks, guys. And you'll really see it when I pull out. Zoom out. Zoom out. All right, can you guys see that clearly, and how it is really causing this to come up beautifully with that shading? Now, if you want, depending on how far you want to take the shading, zoom in, is you can go ahead and now take a little bit of gray, and I'm telling you, not much, guys. It doesn't take a lot. And right along the lines and up a little bit. I'm adding a little bit more shadow. And then right in the center of the flower, I'm going ahead and I'm darkening that a little bit. Now guys, I want to make an important point. All right, everybody see that? Zoom in. See how you can go ahead and add this shading on this rose petal here and add dimension to this. And then I'm just going to gently smooth that. So I'm going to mush it with my finger a little bit. Zoom out. There you go. Isn't that beautiful? What I started to say, my little choo-choo train of thought got derailed there. When I show you a method, a technique, I don't want you to, when you start using it, I don't want you to blindly slap it on there for the case of slap, you know, for the point of slapping it on there because ILene did. You have to adjust it to the project that you are doing. You guys know what I mean when I say that? In other words, you've got to customize it to the piece that you're using. Now, in this case, it worked that I'm doing it on the whole piece, right? But if you've got a flower where you don't necessarily want to do this on the whole thing, don't do it on the whole thing. In other words, you want to adjust my techniques to whatever you're doing. You don't want to do it for the sake of doing it. All right, let's get this ear cleaned out. Questions, comments as far as doing something like this on your own? Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead with the same red that I used on the rose. And I'm going to put a little bit of that into this pink flower. So notice how I'm bringing this up on the leaf here. I'm sorry, on the petal. And I'm very gently shading the outside. And bringing that in. Now, when you do that, for example, I'm putting this little loop right here of color. See that? So in other words, I'm not just by rote on every single petal just coming in from the outside and going in, you know, in towards the center. I'm varying the shades and the colors on it's sitting on that petal itself. And what I want you to see like right here, I'm just adding like that little loop. Questions about that? And I want you to think about your colorings. I've mentioned this a number of times. I want you to think of your colorings as paintings. Where you're adding stuff like this in to get your depth. Hi, Wanda. Now I'm going to take my finger and soften that up. And then I'm going to take a little bit of white pencil and highlight those segments. and that's going to add to the softness as well. Now, if you were happy with what you did with your finger, don't change this. Yeah, Amy was having problems last night responding. So if you don't want to add this last touch of this white, you don't have to. It's your piece, and anytime I color, I try to show you these alternatives to it. Whoops. All right, let me tidy this up. And if you really wanted to play with it, take your eraser and erase off that tip a little bit. I could have whitened this up by using my eraser as well. Okay, zoom out. Zoom out. Okay. Our little guy's looking pretty cute. Now, we've got a lot of pink and red here. We've got the flags here down the arms. I really don't want to add a lot of pink to the ears. And again, this is something you need to consider when you're doing your coloring. Let me turn this little guy upside down so we can look at it and see how it looks. Zoom out. Zoom out. We've got good balance on this. We've got our pinkish, reddish colors balanced. Got the greens balanced. That was already balanced when the artist drew these. Notice that they did not just put two flowers at the top. They could have put one here and one here. That would look, So your artist is already doing part of your work by putting things where they put them. So what I'm going to do, zoom in, zoom in, I'm going to use marker. And notice that I'm also using repeat strokes here. Just to give that a little bit of interest. Not much. You don't want it to look streaky. And then I'm going to come back in, excuse me for reaching, with a slightly darker goldish brown along my edges. This is called a Camel Brown by Arteza. A little bit darker on the outside here. Everybody see how we're getting depth on that? Actually, the word is dimension. We've got the ear on top, and then I've got this underneath. Okay, now, zoom out. What I want to point out here is you've already got pink in the ear from this design. So that's why you don't have to worry about putting more pink inside this ear. Let me restate that. I don't have to worry about putting more pink inside of the ear. Obviously, when I teach you, I'm teaching you to it's my style. I mean, it's just my style. All right, everybody see now how I've done that. So we've already got the pink. And there's really no need to add more in this instance. And I would even go so far in this particular case is I'm going to use my Tombow, which is my little mini eraser here. And I'm going to even lighten this just a little further. How cool is that? Now, in order to get that light center, I lost a little bit of my red in the ear on my design. No biggie, pop it back in. And that looks really cool because you've got this dark piece on top of the inside of the ear here where we lightened it up. Zoom out. Does all of that make sense, guys? and this is what you'll have from a distance. Okay. Oh, we are rapidly finishing this, aren't we? Okay. Okie dokie smoky. Bottom leg for balance here. Zoom in. Zoom in. I'm going to go ahead and put that in black. With my trusty pen. Take your time. Don't rush it. Let me clean this up a little bit. Zoom out. All right, so we've got that done. So let's take a quick peek. And guys, this is a very, very busy piece. You could see that from the very beginning. So that's another thing that you need to keep in mind when you're doing something like this. This runs into the keep it simple principle. All right, just deciding what I want to do after hitting the camera with my head. Oh my. So we'll go ahead and we'll pop in our green. I was thinking about outlining that in black. I'm not going to do that. We've got just a little bit of extra touch here. And I missed a spot here. Okay. Nose. We don't want to lose that nose. Very light gray. And then a slightly darker gray on top of that. Otherwise that nose is going to look pretty funny. We'll go ahead and shade that. And then I'm just going to color in that nostril just a little bit. All right. Let me take a look here. All right. So let's go ahead and do this next ear. I'm going to go ahead and shadow already these segments with my original marker. Remember guys, repeated strokes on your marker, darker colors. And you can do a lot with that. All right. A little bit of gray shading here on that ear. Not much. Hey Melba. And if you want to add just a little bit of gray, to these segments, that's fine. Zoom out. Howdy, howdy, howdy to Miss Melba. So here we are so far. Now, border. Let me put some protective paper underneath here. Let me get some water. Melba, how's your day going? Thank you, Mary. Okay, border. I'm going to go ahead and go with the green. This is a simple Sharpie marker. And also, if you have, zoom in, if you have alcohol markers, you've got an array of colors that way as well. Please don't feel that you always have to put black in there. And this goes very, very quickly. Now, again, the reason that I do this on camera is I want you to see how slowly adding all this stuff really changes your whole picture. And let me change that comment a little bit. Obviously it changes it. I want you to see how it changes it. Hey, Sarah. And I want you to see why I made the color choices that I did. Zoom out. Now, if you really wanted to play with it, oh, okay, Sarah, you were out to dinner with Kimberly Keller, and as the dust settles, Kimberly will be on more and really get into coloring. Yeah, I was wondering what was happening with her. She seemed really excited to be here. Okay. I'm going to take some red and I'm going to finish the border with it. Oh, she is, Sarah, and she loved it. So she'll be back and she loved it. Okay. Zoom out. Okay, everybody see what I did with that? And now I'm into the stages here where I can start tweaking this. You like it? All right. Now I'm going to take a very light gray. And my question to you guys is, would you have thought of that, doing that red and the green that way on the border? Oh, that's cool, Rhonda. You ordered 120 square, the Brute Funner, today, and you already have the 180 round ones. You'll be able to tell us the difference. Okay. Are you expecting a difference, Wanda? Are you guys talking about, Wanda, are you talking about color difference? Or the way they handle? Oh, more quality. Okay. And if you're wondering what I'm doing, I just changed my mind on something I was going to do on that top border. Judging from previews you've seen on Facebook, you think there might be a difference. Okay. All right. Now we're into the part that I love doing. I'm going to start tweaking and adding my little finishing touches on this. Yeah, it would be nice if there were some color differences. Yeah, Wanda. You're going to end up with a lot of pencils. I hope you like Brute Funner. Okay. So I'm just taking my eraser here, my little gummy eraser, and I'm just going to clean up a little bit. Yeah, I've got the round ones actually. Okay. So, the moment you've all been waiting for, what is ILene going to do about that mark that she put on the back when she was coloring the rose? Now, I know that some of you, so Wanda says, I like the round ones I have, but I don't like them not having color names on them. Okay. Honestly, to me, it doesn't matter what the color name is, because when I color, I go ahead and I have little scrap papers that I just go ahead and I little swatch just to make sure. And the other thing I'm doing, I may do a video on this. We'll see. I got myself a Dynamo label printer, and I went ahead, I'm working on this, I went ahead and I've put numbers on my pencils. Let me show you. And I put a piece of tape around them. And then what I'm doing, it was just near my hand. I'll show you as soon as I find it. Oh, right here. Then what I'm doing, zoom in, is I'm creating little tags, and I'm coloring the tag with the color. And for example, this is Castle Arts number 53. And I've got all my pencils arranged in numerical order. It doesn't matter what the brand is. So what I'll have now is, when I get them roughly in order from dark to light, I'll be able to go through and see what the color is that I want. Now, the interesting thing is, these are little cables that I got from Amazon, 6-inch cable. They unscrew, and I'll either put individual colors on there, you know, blue on one, green on the other, whatever. But I have a little punch here that makes my labels from my cardstock. Now, I had the choice of buying my own labels, but I decided, you know, I've got a lot of pencils. I mean, I've got a lot of pencils. And I found out that I've got 200 and some blue. So I've been working on this, and eventually I will get through all my colors. So we'll see. I think this will be a nice little method. And it lets me mingle all my brands. So whatever method you guys choose, totally up to you. To each his own. That makes the world go round. All right. Let's work on our little doodads here. Doodads, doodads. Okay. Well, Wanda, to each his own. You know, you prefer the charts. I like the little individual thingies. Yeah, I got to do around the eyes. I was waiting to see if you were going to say something, Wanda. Hi, Laura Jean. I wasn't planning on doing anything with the nose further, but I'll take a look. My stickers have taken off on me. Laura Jean, I always, okay, let me rephrase that. Stickers I don't glue on, but like little gems and stuff, even if they have sticky on the back, I will glue them on. And by stickers, I mean my little flat ones. Yeah, they sure did develop legs. Zoom out. Zoom out. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to be showing you that tomorrow when I find them. Dang it. I hate that when I do that to myself. Especially on camera. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh. Yay, I found them. There we go. I am a dork. Okay. So the other night I was coloring this rose and I accidentally splotched on my page. Now, this is why I keep telling you guys, quit throwing your stuff out when something like that happens. Normally, you can correct it. And we can either correct this with something cute. That will not work because it won't cover everything up. Or we can correct it with something that tends to make a little more sense to the picture. The point is, if you guys throw something out because you've made a mistake like that, I'm going to reach through my screen and I'm going to throttle you. So tell me how you guys would fix this. Helen says draw a mini rose. Yep, there's one of the ideas. Throw some ideas. Laura Jean says I could use whiteout. Yep, we can do that. Tell me how you guys would fix this. And don't you dare say throw the piece out. Anybody else have some ideas? Color the background a dark color. There's one. Yeah, I really like Helen's idea. You could draw a rose, a mini rose up there. I've got stencils. Rhonda says color the background. Okay. I have stencils that are roses. I would use a stencil. Helen could pop out a rose with her eyes closed. Who else wants to throw in an idea? Okay, what I'm going to do, I happen to buy these little, they're cardstock. And what I'm going to do is pick one, zoom in, is I'm going to go ahead and stick one of these on there. I'm so glad I found these. I really wanted to show you this. Now, we could do one like this, that's going sideways. And the other little consideration is how big do we want this? Not very. And the other consideration is, as Wanda points out, what color? Okay. Is that the one that you like, Wanda? The red one? Okay, now I'm probably going to turn that. Oh, maybe not. Okay, Wanda likes the red one. Okay. Wanda likes the red one. Laura Jean likes the red one. Okay. Glue. Now, these are not stickers, they're cardstock. Now, I have to put it in that exact position, and I'm just smearing this glue around a little bit because I know it's going to dry clear. So I don't have too much choice on the angle, but that's okay. Let me put a little more glue under the wing. Oh, I totally missed. Good grief, ILene. And then we'll let that dry. Now, we've got white around this wing, right? Zoom in. So I'm going to take my green pen and I'm going to color that segment. And I'm going to make that white disappear. How many of you thought about that? And I'm not patting myself on the back. I want you to think about things like this. Isn't that cool? Zoom out. Zoom out. Much better. Now, the really cool thing is, I've got this one butterfly up here. We can go ahead, if it doesn't interfere, and pop on another one or two. And the thing I specifically want to show you is I'm doing it in such a way that these little curly lines fit into making them look like they're flying around. Laura Jean, it doesn't matter if they bleed, because that's why you work on a sheet of scrap paper. This is cardstock that I work on top of. So get yourself a set, Laura Jean, of alcohol-based markers. Okay, so I'm going to move that butterfly over to about there. So he's face down, based on where this little curl is. Now I'm not going to put him that way because to me that looks messy. So yes, Laura Jean, they will bleed, but that's why you go ahead and you use the cardstock. Now, if you have coloring books that are printed back to back, you can't use it. Everybody see why I'm not putting the butterfly here? Alcohol-based markers are more pigmented. They're very intense. The colors are gorgeous. Go to my Instagram page and look at Wild Soul. I did that one with alcohol markers. Okay, butterfly. Let's see if I can do this without making too much of a mess. There we go. Wanda, tell us what you like. Oh yeah, they are permanent. Now listen though, Laura Jean, they are different than Sharpies. Sharpies are just basic colored permanent markers. Okay? I mean, these are very intense, but the alcohol markers, see, are like this. Just look for alcohol markers, sweetie. Okay. Yeah, just, Laura Jean, just think of them like a lot of colors of Sharpie markers, if that helps you. Okay. Sharpie marker, green. I could have used my alcohol marker to do this. I just happen to have this one on my, right near me. Zoom in. Zoom in. Oh, Laura Jean, you have Sharpies? Yeah. Now, remember when I told you that when you double up markers, they go darker? I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of shadow here. Everybody see that? Laura Jean, if you can afford it. Oh, you have the alcohol markers, you don't have Sharpies. Gotcha, Laura Jean. Zoom out. Zoom out. Voila. Zoom out. I fixed my boo-boo. And you never would have known I had it there. Now, one little extra thing that you can do. Oh, Helen, you still with us? Melba, you still with us? Melba's probably working on a project. I hate that. I can never tell who's in a room. Okay. We're going to go ahead and put a little shadow under the footy. And guys, it's these little touches that are going to make the difference, right? Color a page like you're painting it. Yes or no? Does that make sense to you? Now, as soon as I add the shadow, guys, it grounds your piece. And by that I mean it doesn't, that way it doesn't look like it's floating anymore. Rhonda, what bugged you about the nose? You asked me if I was done with it? Okay. I'm so glad I found my little stickers. I knew I had those puppies. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Somebody mentioned about the nose. Who asked me about the nose? If I was done with it. Okay. Oh, Pearl. Thank you. Pearl, what's bugging you about the nose? Now, did you guys think of coloring in this little cardstock sticker? Oh, the behind, yeah. Yeah, I can do the behind. Thank you for reminding me, Melba. Oh, the nose looks untouched? Okay. Everything else looked clear, but the little nose is bare. Okay. All right. Two more things. I got to do the eyes. And I want to show you something. I'm going to get my narrowest pen. And I'm going to zoom in, a couple of dashes. Behind my butterfly. Now, you can stop where you want to stop. Oh, that sounds funny, doesn't it? If you want to stop shorter than what I'm doing, that's fine. It just depends what kind of mood you're in. Zoom out. Okay, nobody's answered me about that butterfly. Did you think about, since it has that white outline on it, did you think about putting that green marker on there to blend it in with the border? I would appreciate it if somebody would tell me yes or no. Now, if you want to, and now I'm playing, and now I'm just going to show you. Yeah, but before I did the other one, Pearl, did you think of putting green on that white cardboard to make it look like it blended in? Kathy said no. Pearl said no. Oh, Wanda said she liked it standing out from the border. Okay. Yep. Okay. Now, if you want to get more playful with this, Laura Jean says no. All right. I just want you guys to think about things like this. And as Wanda said, she preferred the white on top of the border. Cool. But I'm demonstrating this to you because I want you to remember the technique, and you might run into another instance where you would be using it. Okay? That's my point. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is zoom in. Is add some of these dashed marks to go outside of the constraints of the border. Now again, preference and taste, guys, right? Now, I have French curves that I could be using with this. I just didn't get them out. Zoom out. But if it bugs you to, let's see here, do it freehand, use a French curve. I think we're pretty good with this. Okay. Now again, this is a total taste issue, but I wanted to show you the idea now of taking these little swirlies and exploding them outside of your border. And I put them behind the border. And you can see that I went ahead and just added little extra doodads on here. Okay, there you go. Wanda's going to slap this pen out of my hand, which she rightfully should do. And I'm going to call this done. Now, normally, I would have sprayed this first and then put my butterflies on. So really, they should be the very last thing that you do. Any add-ons, oh my eyes, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Okay, so I've got my dark gray around my eyes, which makes our little puppy very expressive. And then I'm going to make the eyes, I don't really want to make them green. I hesitate with brown. Wanda, what color would you make the eyes? I'm thinking, you know what? We can do blue. I've got blue in here. We can do blue. What do you think, Wanda? Poor Wanda, she's trying to work and I keep talking to her. Oh, Wanda, you were thinking blue. Okay. Okay. Zoom in. And yes, I have a little scrape in the paper there. Made my error. Okay, darker color at top. And my lighter blue on the bottom. And I'm going to keep it simple, so I think I'll just keep it at that. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. I'm going to darken around that nose just a little bit. We'll add a highlight with the pen. I really need to say accent. I'm driving Melba crazy when I use the term highlight. There we go. Zoom out. I'm calling this one done, guys. Zoom out. Let me look at one more thing real quick. What do you think? Now again, I know that your tastes are different than mine. I've shown you different techniques. But again, when I show you something, even if you don't necessarily like it, I want you to learn the technique. I want you to think about adding little flippy lines on your pieces or sticking butterflies or whatever stickers. I would never in a million years impose my style on you. I just want to show you these different ideas. Oh, Pearl, I'm glad you like it. Pearl, you know I do this to you. Pearl, I want to show you one last thing real quick. I'm going to take my black pen and I'm going to re-outline my pearls. And the reason that I'm doing that is we got so much color on this that they've kind of gotten lost. Zoom in. Zoom in. So I just wanted you to see this real quick, Pearl, before you leave. Again, I'm not going to ask you to stay to do all of it. I just want to show you this, that I'm going to be doing that. And what that's going to do, guys, is that's going to bounce back these pearls. So we'll call these pearls and we'll call Pearly Pearl Pearly. Good night, Kathy. Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay, see how these are showing up a little better now? Okay, Pearl, you can leave. Bye. Okay, you like the nose better now that I emphasize the nose? Cool. Okay, so black line to get this necklace back into shape. Now, having said that, if you don't want to re-emphasize these pearls, you don't have to. I'm just showing you. Clean your pen tip frequently. You're picking up wax from your pencils. Jose looks great. Oops, it's Willie. Yeah, it's Willie Pearl. For Wilhelmina from Wanda. Now, I can't avoid these darker lines around the pearls. It's just the style that this author has when they drew this. You know how I like to minimize lines. And notice how I'm frequently, like I said, cleaning off the tip of my pen. Okay, now these pearls on the bottom aren't too bad, but you want to make sure that they're consistent. Oh, beautiful. There you go. Zoom out. Zoom out. All right. We're good. We're good. All righty. Let me look at something real quick. I'm glad you guys like this. Let me rephrase that. I hope you learned something from it. I hope you enjoyed watching the different techniques and ideas. I'm just smoothing out this gray with my blender pencil. I think the eyes are a little darker than what I would have liked. That was my mistake. But that's okay. Sorry for the clacking. All right, let me put this piece there. I'm going to spray Willie. In a well-ventilated area. If you hear me coughing and then a thump, you know I'm in trouble. Okay, there we go. And the colors get a little bit richer. I'm happy with it. I hope you guys learned something. That's the big thing. Okay. So I'm going to pop over to Feminine Elegance. And this is by Teresa Davis. And it's a light grayscale piece. Thank you, Sarah. I'm going to let you look at Willie a minute while I spray this other one. Well, again, I hope you guys learned something. All right. This is a print from my printer. Now, you really should let your Krylon dry a little longer, but I tend to use it pretty quickly after I spray. Okay. Now, people ask, how do you know where to start a picture? Oh, Sarah says your best friend of 35 plus years, her grandmother was Willie. Oh, even a better reason to call it Willie then. Yeah, this was Wanda's suggestion. So I feel moved right now to work on this outside here. If you feel moved to work on the dress, wonderful. That's okay too. Zoom in. So I'm going to grab my water-based markers. Again, these are Ohuhus. And I'm starting with a very light color. Now, zoom in, zoom in. Even on these little teeny tiny branches, I'm using a very gentle touch. Very light, just little flicks of my marker, especially on these lighter pieces here. Now, I don't want you to worry if the green goes a little bit beyond your branches. Rhonda says she's working on another Age of Elegance picture. Cool. So the technique here with the marker is just little flicks on this hint of gray. Isn't that beautiful? Now, I'm going to take a slightly darker marker. I don't know why that makes me laugh when I say it. Darker marker, because it rhymes. And I'm going to use the fine point on here. Zoom in. And now I'm going to go through and on select spots, I'm going to go ahead and darken this. See where the grayscale is a little bit darker? Isn't that beautiful? Now remember, you don't want to get in too much of a pattern, guys. Vary the way that you darken. Now, you know me, zoom out, and you know that I like to play with my pieces, right? The queen of custom coloring. Zoom out. So watch this. I'm using my Jelly Roll gray pens. Remember I told you that I bought a set of these little puppies with different gray shades? I bought them specifically for grayscale. And yes, there's a little bug crawling across, little fly. This sounds stupid, but I just can't bring myself to killing them. Everybody see what I'm doing with this? Now guys, I don't want you to go crazy on me with this. If you can draw a squiggly line, you could draw this, right? All I'm doing is making sure that I have a main branch coming down and then putting my little wispy things on it. Questions, comments? Other than, no, I can't do that. Yes, you can. Now, I want to show you something here. Zoom out. I'm not done with this. See how this dress comes together, right? It visually pops out and it comes back together. Watch what I'm doing here. I'm doing the same thing. It pops out and then it visually comes back together. There's a method to my madness. Everybody see that? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Well, let me know that you saw it. I don't care if you give me a thumbs up or not. I want you to see why I'm doing this. And I want you to think about things like that. This would have looked really weird if I had just gone out with it, right? Now, good night, Miss Melba. Now I'm going to take a darker gray pen, zoom in, and I'm going to go ahead and add my black. Well, I'm sorry, not black, it's the darker gray. And notice when I add it, I'm going to gently smear it with my finger. Why? We don't want any harsh lines on this little puppy. So when you smear this, when you go to smear it and you draw it, you've got to do it right away. Before the ink dries. Now, if you have to, thank you, Wanda. If you have to go back up into your original drawing, coloring, and add some lines up there in order to balance what you did down here, the darker gray, go ahead and do that. Everybody see that? I'm intriguing Wanda. All right, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Now, this looks a little off to me where it's coming out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to curve it in a little bit. Okay? There we go. Much better. Oh yeah. Questions or comments about doing something like this? And I'm using a lighter gray than that darker gray here to go ahead and emphasize my gray. Yeah, that's better than this dark stuff. And that way I don't really have to smear it. And you know that's not easily done, ILene? What's that, Wanda? What's not easily done? Rhonda, it is easy. Please, it's easy. Now look, if you're not comfortable doing this in pen right away, oh my gosh, guys, it's not hard. It really, please, it's not. Oh, intriguing you. I kind of thought that's what you meant, but I wasn't going to say anything. Oh my gosh. Okay. Rhonda, look, pencil. You can do the same thing and play with it. I just did squiggle lines. I just copied what was up here. Oh, Wanda, love you. You're such a benefit to the group. No snarky comments. No behind the scenes texts or nasty comments. Oh, yeah. Okay. Rhonda, use a pencil. Play. Zoom in. Okay. Now, Back to my lightest green marker. So Wanda, are you telling me that you would do something like this? Zoom in. Okay, see how I've got this green coming here? I didn't even put a gray mark on here. Okay. Then, oh Rhonda, yeah, that wallpaper, that was so cool. Okay, a little bit of green, dark green, not much. Maybe, Wanda says that maybe she would do this. Okay, fair enough. And this is going to make sense when I do the rest of this, guys. Rhonda, you could do this. And yes, I make it look easy because it is easy. Zoom out. Okay. All right, I'm just doing a little cleanup in between here. Did you guys see Rhonda's wallpaper? I loved it. I thought that was so cool. Okay, now guys, zoom out. This is looking wonky because we've got green on this side and nothing over here. Trust me, it will come together. You're going to love this. Well, I'm particularly proud of Rhonda because I know that was, she'd never done something like that before. So the neat thing is not only did she do it, but she pulled it off well. Let me grab some water. Guys, the thing that floats my boat is when I see improvement in your postings. And what also floats my boat is that you're making the effort. So it's a combination of the two. Now, if you need a little bit of addition on this side or over here, whatever, don't be afraid to do that. Okay, zoom in, zoom in. I'm going to hit these leaves now with a little bit of green. For the moment. Zoom out. But you know there's more coming, right? But wait, there's more. Zoom out. All right, see how this is all starting to come together. All right, now on these leaves, zoom in. I'm going to add a little bit of brownish gold on our dark spots. Zoom in. If I need to come in closer, let me know. Don't go crazy with your brown. And use your own judgment where you put that brown and how dark you make it. So if you see a light area here that you think should have a tinge of goldish brown on it, go ahead. I don't want you to blindly follow grayscale images. Now, on this leaf here that looks a little bit curled, darker brown. Hold on, I missed a spot. And remember, when you put your green on, guys, You can come a little bit darker with your same pen. You just hang around a little longer with it. And by hang around with it, I mean by repeated strokes. Zoom out. Isn't that beautiful? Look at this. These leaves are just looking absolutely luscious and rich. Zoom in. Zoom in. All right, what I'm going to do in this zoomed in view is I'll go all the way up towards the top on camera so you can see this. And notice that I also went ahead and put a little bit of brown on my vine. Missed a spot. Zoom out. Zoom out. Questions, comments? All right, now, you're welcome, Rhonda. I told you I'd do that for you until you got your setup changed. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit of brown, not much, and I'm just going to put touches of it on all this stuff here. Why? Because we need to balance out this whole thing. Otherwise, we're just going to have a splotch of green here. See how much better that looks, guys? Okay. Zoom out. Doesn't that look cool? So now we need to think about what color our flowers are going to be. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Right now I am leaning towards pink. So I'm going ahead and doing pink on my, basically my lighter areas, the lighter pink. Now, I don't care if you use, so we got the marker on here, but you can do pencil, of course. And you can use a combo of marker and pencil. I just happen to be using marker at the moment. Zoom in. Now, I really want you to see this. I've got the darker pink and I'm making it a point to go over repeatedly in this area, because remember, that makes our color darker on our marker. So I'm just going to do that in these areas here. Gina Papadimitriou. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. And I'm really soaking that marker in, guys, because I want that dark. I want that dark right next to that that flower. I mean, I am soaking it in. Zoom out. Look at that, how beautiful that is. Isn't that beautiful? But it's soft. It's a soft beauty. Yep, it gives a velvety look. And that's what I want. Don't hesitate to soak your water-based markers. All right. Zoom in. So now I'm going to go in with some yellow. And notice how I'm moving that yellow out to the edges just a little bit. And then I'm going to put a little bit of orange in there. Now, when I put the orange in, I want you to notice that I'm blending that in. I'm smudging it in with my finger. Yellow and orange work with purple. And you can go back over this now with your yellow. You can layer your markers. And smudge that in a little bit. It's almost like you're blending your colors. Okay? And then I'm going to take an orange pencil and right next to the very center, I'm going to brighten that up a little bit. And I'm also going to take that color and I'm going to run it up the side of the petal. Now, guys, this is one of those things where you say, well, ILene, how do you know to do that? Right? Well, because I'm coloring it in and I just thought, you know, that would look cool. There is no hard, fast rule. And again, flowers are very forgiving about what colors you put on them. Okay, black pen. Going to revitalize this black just a little bit. Put some dash marks in there. There you go. Zoom out. Zoom out. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, if you're not sure what color goes with purple, look it up. You go to Google, what color looks great with purple? It'll tell you. Questions, comments? Yes, I can do this. No, I can't do this. zoom out. So I still have my little flower thingy, my little glue-ons. Look at this, guys. Wouldn't that look cool? I like it. I'm going to do that. I will, when I'm done coloring, I'm going to glue that on there. I think that looks really cool. In fact, you know what? I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something here. I'm going to really play with this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue this on here. Now, I always tell you to put stuff like this on last, right? But I'm doing it now for demonstration purposes. I can envision this already. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that on there. I'm going to sneeze, excuse me. I'm so sorry. Now, as Wanda said, she would change the purple to red, which is fine. I may play around with that and do that. But purple and red work together just fine. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this glue as much as I can. Now, again, guys, you would normally do this last. So in other words, you would just go ahead and set this aside and then put it on there. But I'm doing it now because I want to make a point. I'm just wiping up the glue here. As to what kind of add-ons you can put. Isn't that beautiful? And I'm just bending this paper down just a little bit so this sits better. There you go. All right. More to come tomorrow. And I probably will change that purple flower to red, Wanda. Anybody have any questions or comments? I'll tell you what, even better, if you're not in a super big hurry, sit tight with me, 10 more minutes. Now, I did this purple with marker. So I'm going to have to correct it with marker. So I've got my alcohol marker. Zoom in. Zoom in. And I want to show you guys that you can do stuff like this. Now, as soon as I put that marker down, I'm going ahead and doing a teeny tiny smudge with it. And you can get away with that with alcohol marker if you do it right away. Your finger will turn whatever color you're using, but it works. Very, very rarely, guys, do you have a fatal event with your color, and you can usually do something with your piece. Okay, purple is now red. Zoom out. Let me clean something up real quick. Okay. Zoom out. What do you think, guys? Hi, Roberta. Isn't that cool? So I've got the addition of this, which normally I would do last, but I'm doing now for instructive purposes. Change the flowers to the red. Boom. Ignore that little smudge that I got up there. I'll work with that later. Isn't that beautiful? All right, guys, we're having fun. At least I am. I hope you are, and I hope you're learning. All right, I'm calling it a night. Love you guys. Guys, joyous, joyous coloring. I'm having way too much fun. We are on a roll. Good night, good night, good night. Take care. This is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. And I am done. Have a great rest of the evening, guys. Oop. I love it when that happens. Oh, and yes, please share this video. Bye.